Hello, welcome to a new video. This is the second video in my postcard series, so if you haven't seen the first video, feel free to go watch it, but I'll just give you a quick rundown of what this video is and this project. So a little background information for you. My name is Nina and I'm an artist living in Shetland, which is a set of small islands in the middle of the North Sea. And one of my art goals for this year is to create a little collection of postcards of Shetland and to have them in some of the local shops here. And in the last video, in the first video of the series, I started to find my rhythm a little bit with this project, and I'll just quickly show you some of the paintings that I made in that video. So this is the first one. This little one. And yeah, so that's where we were at, in a bit of a flow. And really this video is just running straight off the back of that last one. And yeah, continuing the process of going out and sketching in different places on the island, and then taking those sketches back to the studio and trying to turn them into nice little paintings. So yeah, that's the premise of this video, and if you like the sound of that, please continue watching and I will speak to you in just a moment, I'm sure. Bye. Hello, it is a Saturday, and as you have seen, I have been working on my little postcard series, which I think is actually coming along surprisingly better than I have thought and hoped. So that's very good news. I'm very chuffed with that. Yes, it's Saturday, one of my days off, and my plan is to, well, I've not really got much of a plan, but I'm thinking that I'm going to drive to a few different spots and do some more wee sketching in my wee sketchbook, which is actually starting to fall apart. All I really need to do is put a bit of glue on that. But yeah, so once again, if you've watched any of my videos, you probably know that I love this little sketchbook, and I love my little pencil, this wee one. It's a Derwent Inktense. They're super nice watercolour pencils, and I've just got this one which is like a dark brown. It's called Bark. And yeah, I love using this little sketchbook to go out and take notes on the landscape. Yeah, I like taking wee notes, and that has been the foundation of my postcards. It's my reference, and I feel like it really works building from those images, because I think when I work from photographs, I used to really love working from photographs. Like when I first started painting a few years ago now, then that used to be where I began all my art, was by like through a photo that I'd taken, and I just think it's so difficult now. So yeah, I really like this method of going out to the places, taking notes. I guess it makes me feel a bit more connected to the places that I'm making the postcards of. But yeah, so we're gonna go do that. I'm thinking to go further south in the island to Sombra Head, which is the most south part of the island, and maybe do a little sketch there. And then I would actually like to go back to Hossick, which is where one of the postcards is of, and take some more notes, because I know I'm kind of missing some information. What else? I kind of feel like going somewhere different. I don't really know. We're just gonna see where this goes, to be honest. So I'm being a little bit of a wuss and staying in the car for this exact moment. It is raining quite heavily. I've tried to park in a spot where I can get a bit of a good view composition, but I mean really I should get out of the car, which I think I will do in a moment. But maybe we'll just do a little warm-up sketch in the car. You know what? I'm putting the window down. Should we just get out? Should we just go? Should we just go for it? So I've now been to two spots. I went to Sombra Head, or I didn't actually go to Sombra Head, I went to Sombra Beach, and then you could see Sombra Head, the lighthouse in the background. And then now I just came down like the next road on the way back, and I've never really been down this road, but some really nice views, because this is another angle that you can see Sombra Head. And then behind me is, I want to say Fitful Head, and I could be wrong by saying that, but it's just like quite a dramatic kind of cliffy area, and I've got some nice little sketches from that I think will be, yeah, really fun to paint. There's lots of old croft houses around here, which I just love. Like more and more I feel like I am appreciating this sort of, I don't know, old crofting aspects, the history that is sprinkled around the lands of Shetland. I just think they're really, they add so much to the landscape. But yeah, I don't know where I'm gonna go now, but I'm gonna keep driving about. So this is the first sketch. So this was down at not Quendale, this was down at Sunborough. This is where the lighthouse is, and as you saw, a really lovely beach. This is when I ventured out with a car. Yeah, I think I'll have enough to work from, like between both of these sketches, to make some sort of nice wee painting. Oh, and I did another one actually. And then this is when I drove down the road and took a sketch of Sunborough Head from a different angle, which is actually really nice. So I'll maybe do a few different paintings and see what one I like best. And then this was over Fitful Head. Another wee sketch that I'm quite excited to make into a painting. Maybe even more so with this one actually. And then this is when we went up to town, and this is down near the pier, kind of further along from where the main street is, and just a bunch of old like harbour sort of fishing village-esque buildings, which are really lovely. I like this sketch a lot. Very excited to turn this into something. I even did a little boat. And then this was a really quick, rough one. I was actually kind of eager to get along to another spot first before really spending time at this point. But I did do another sketch of this location, which is this one, which I think is really nice actually. I'm just really loving this way of sketching, and I love the scribbliness, honestly. Like, I really like it. This is oh, if anybody's ever watched the murder detective show Shetland, or read the books, I don't know what, I mean, I'm guessing it features in the books, but certainly in the TV show, this is where the main detective, Jimmy Paris, lives. And that's probably all I can tell you because I've not really watched much of Shetland. But yeah, this is obviously like quite a famous spot with a lot of tourists. Like, the show seems to be really popular all across the world, which is kind of surprising for me. I wouldn't have thought it, but it has quite a big American audience that watches. But yeah, so kind of would be an ideal place to have a little postcard of, because it's probably something that people would like to, like, people will come over here and get their photo taken, you know, down at the beach or at the wall with the scene behind them. Like, yeah, it's a popular little spot. Yeah, cute little drawing. And then again, this was the other buildings, and yeah, generally it was really nice little time. I'm excited to get painting some of these. Yeah. I think for me the most difficult paintings are going to be, or the most difficult postcards are going to be ones that involve buildings, because I find that's where, like, I don't know, the light or the colour kind of dynamic really matters. And I think, well, I just have less experience painting buildings, but I really like the sketches that I did the other day, so I'm hoping that I can get something that feels as, I don't know, charming as this sketch into one of these little paintings, which at the moment I don't think it's working. I'm quite happy to probably do one of these little paintings a few times. This is where we're at. Yeah, let's just see how things go. Okay, so I've actually only filmed a small proportion of what I've been working on, and I thought I will just go through what I've got so far and just show you everything that is going into this project. Let's start off with this scene. Okay, so you saw that I went down to Sunborough Head, and that's one of the locations that I'd quite like to have a postcard of. So we have a few different attempts. As you can see, this is one that I've never finished. Again, another one that's just so not there. It's really interesting because a lot of these paintings, like when I've been making them, I've not been like present with the painting, and I think that's been like the main issue, because with some of the paintings that I showed you at the beginning of the video that I really like, and some of the ones I was working on in this video, so like this one, I felt like I was so much more present with the painting, whereas with these ones I literally I can remember what I was thinking about when I was making this, which is maybe why I don't like them, because I know that my head wasn't in the actual painting. This one I like more than the others, but it's not something I'm happy with. But then we did get this one, which I actually really quite like. This one, I don't love it, but I also think it only needs like a few little tweaks for me to be happy with it. Like probably some of this grass to maybe stand out a little bit more, maybe some darker brush strokes here, and maybe some lighter blue up here. And other than that, I actually do really like this one. So we did get somewhere with this scene, so that's good. Then we get to the buildings in the town, and for me buildings are something that I haven't really painted very often. If you've watched any of my videos recently, then you will know that I'm actually trying to paint houses, buildings more often. It's just something that has become like a little fixation for me, and I'm definitely still figuring out how I want to go about this. This piece here, these aren't in order, but this piece here is probably one of the more successful pieces, which is really funny because I remember when I was painting it, it was just after I'd spent like an hour or two working on some other paintings of the same scene, and I was like, you know what, I'm just not going to think, I'm just going to put brush strokes down and I'm just going to like play about with it. And well, I really like the different brush stroke kind of texture things coming through here, and I like the looseness of the windows, just little dots. Overall, I like this because it feels loose. There's a bit more work I need to do with like the boats here, but other than that, I actually feel like this one might have potential because it is one that I look at and I feel happy when I see it, so that's a really good sign. But I will show you some of the other paintings of like the same scene that I have tackled. So I'm trying to think what we started off with first. So I have these two, which are pretty similar, and I don't mind elements of this one, but at the same time I'm just not super pleased with it. It's definitely got potential and it might be something that I continue working on, but I'm not sure. And this one, I don't know, I feel like I've just felt a bit too confused when doing this scene, and I think it's just I'm not sure what colours to use, and I feel like when it comes to landscape paintings like this one, it's so much more intuitive. Like I know what the fields look like and I don't feel like I need to think, and I can really have fun with it. Whereas with anything with a building in it, I suddenly like start thinking about the light and the colours and how things, like what's true to that scene. And yeah, I mean I don't hate these, but I don't love them. So yeah, I did those ones. This is actually might be part of a different video, but I quite like this one. I like some of the elements, like I really like this little building here and I love the texture on that bit of the building, but for me these are not the right colours. This is not what Larwick feels or looks like to me. So as much as I like it as a painting, it's not the one. It's not the one for me. A half finished one, because I feel like this happens a lot where I start something and then I chuck it away. But I think it's got a good base, so I'm kind of thinking maybe with some of these I need to like play about with some like pencils and that, because that's partly what I love about my sketches, is like the loose hand marks. Like you can see that I'm just playing, and I feel like I really lose that when it comes to painting. So maybe that's something I need to do. Another half finished, and then I thought maybe if I work on a bigger scale it would be easier. And again, this is not a finished painting, so maybe I should stop judging these paintings before they're actually done. But yeah, I think in general you can probably see just by the amount of times I've started the same scene over and over again that I'm feeling a little frustrated, and I've maybe not been enjoying myself as much as some of the initial paintings I was doing. I'm hoping that we can get back to those feelings. Anyway, and then we have a couple ones. This, I don't know whether I like this painting or not. Like I really like elements of it. And I know what I was going for here, but I just don't think I just don't know. I'm not sure. And we also have these two. So this is one that I actually did before this one, and I kind of felt like I was getting somewhere with it, but the thing with acrylics is that once they dry they always dull so much more, and now that they've dulled all the colours, I'm not such a fan, to be honest. It's like there's something almost charming about it, but it's just not quite there. I mean, to be honest, maybe I just need to neaten up a few bits and it could become something that I really like. I mean, I love the colour of the sea here. I really like that. And then this is one that I did when I was getting quite frustrated, but weirdly I quite like it. I like that I've used the paint in this watered down way, and used it in the same way that I use a pencil when I'm out sketching. So I'm kind of wondering if that's something that I want to explore. And the same way with doing this sort of technique of having a lighter paint underneath and then scraping a kind of bluish colour over the top to kind of create this texture. I'm really enjoying that, and I'm wondering if that's, I don't know, there's something about this painting that I like, and I think I should maybe learn from. But I think this is the thing, like with all this work, it's more illustrative, and I feel like I'm very much still finding my voice through it. So as much as I'm a little bit frustrated, I'm trying to be very understanding, just to not get really worked up about it, to be honest. And then these are two other little paintings that you see me working on. So this is Fitful Head, and I mean, I don't mind it, but it's not singing to me, and I'm not sure what I need to do to make it sing to me. So yeah, these ones are kind of getting chucked to the side. But yeah, I think my favourite ones, I really love this. I like this one of Hozic. I still need to do work on the little houses, and I think some of the fields, but in general I quite like this piece too. Still super happy with this one. Quite like this one. Composition kind of annoys me here with this building cut off, but other than that I think this is a really nice painting. These are my paintings that I did last time. Still need to work on this one. It's funny because I think some of my initial paintings are the ones I'm most happy with. Yeah. And a lot of the time I've been looking at this painting in reference to some of the ones I'm doing. This isn't of anywhere specific, but I really love it. And I don't know whether, like, I have a lot of paintings that are like this, where they're just intuitive little landscapes that have emerged. But I don't know whether, like, I don't know, this is where am I overthinking this? Like, do I need to do specific locations of Shetland, or would this be enough? Like, would this be enough to have in a shop? I'm not sure. But anyway, those are my thoughts, and that's everything I've been working on. So hopefully you can see that there's an awful lot of work going into this project, and yeah, you're very much along the ride with me, figuring things out. Hopefully in the next video in this series I will have the kind of finished postcards coming together. I'm also really hoping to get this project done in the next few weeks. Hopefully you can see, like, this is very much the reality of how I paint and work, is I'll hit a really good rhythm and then I'll often get a little bit lost, and a lot of it is to do with overthinking, to be honest, and not being present with a painting and being too precious, thinking too much, trying, like, putting an expectation on the result. And it's interesting how that seems to just hinder the whole process. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!